the chosen one! It was said that you would bring balance to the
server,
not leave it in darkness!
Fancy intro music, yeah!
woohoo!
Hey everybody, you thought you were having a bad day with your little Armada scoring not working correctly? Imagine being server 52 that literally got archived. All of it. Entire alliances. Gone. Poof.
Please disperse. Nothing to see here, please.
Biggest mistake in Star Trek Fleet Command Scopely history, maybe? I don't know, but they definitely screwed up.
No, we didn't. Shut your mouth, Red Deuce. We're tired of your bull. Shut your mouth or we will destroy you.
No! You can't tell me what to do. I'm a man of the people and they're going to know the truth. And the truth is, they screwed up. It's actually kind of funny. This has never happened before. In fact, the 2.5 years that I've played this game and we've covered this game, they've never had this particular error happen. So how it typically works is any server goes through a fullness process in terms of like they want a certain number of players on a server. Active numbers. I mean, so that's why we have over 100 servers now. We even just launched server 200 a few days ago. And what you do in that process is when accounts become inactive, they'll archive them, essentially meaning that they take them and put them on a shelf. So they're not deleted. That way, if a player does want to come back and say, hey, Scopely, I got real rich off the lottery. Here's all my money. They can be like, cool, we've been waiting for you this whole time. Never forgot about you. So they take you off the archive shelf and put you back in the game. To do this, though, they'll run a script that will essentially remove those players and archive them. Now, what happened was, and sadly, I couldn't get them to tell me a specific, the actual time frame for what they determine as inactive and then archiving. But the process is typically moving a player to like a level 1 system, or if they're very inactive, just completely archiving them in general. And, back when the game first started, the process was we would move them and then archive them. And then, probably get to the point where you can just tell if a person's inactive and you just run the script and it auto archives. And the automatic part of that problem is whatever the parameter was set up inside the script for like a time length. Well, so I'm just going to say in theory 7 weeks. I don't know when it is. I'm just putting out a number. It's probably a lot longer than that. Let's say you were inactive for 7 weeks. It would come through, run on a server, archive those players, and it's no big deal. They're inactive. They're probably not in an alliance because admirals are like, hey, boot them. They're inactive. No big deal. What happened was whatever was in that little time frame for that parameter broke, and it might as well have said 7 hours because entire alliances disappeared. Hundreds of players just went poof into archived them. It's basically like the rapture happened. Who knew the book was real? It was a fact. We just found out that Scopely is the Antichrist and causes the rapture. Who knew? That's religious humor. It happens when you go to seminary. They're not the Antichrist. They're not. They're not. Maybe. We'll see. So what ended up happening is you had we were talking about certain alliances that even have players that remained active could lose 40 or 50 of their members. And, it is a little bit comedic because they are working on fixing it. Most of the players have, as soon as you log back in, reactivates out of archiveness and you go back and they're putting those alliances that were lost back into the server. So they are rectifying it. And they're also compensating this server with an oopsie chest. So I think that they're doing right by them, but at the same time, it is kind of hilarious to log in and be like, yo, where is everybody? So it was a very interesting moment this morning, and I think it's hilarious that it came on the same day, and this is my server 32 account. So shout out server 32. Y'all are awesome, especially the fact that y'all managed to, most of you, address this with humor and levity instead of just, let's burn them down. It's that's pretty funny. I mean, like I said, in the 2.5 years that I've covered the game and worked with them, this has never happened. So, oopsies. But the Make It So event also had an issue today that most of you are familiar with, and that was that this leaderboard here, Rift number 3, was not accruing points correctly when players were doing Armadas. In fact, I was talking to several players in my Discord this morning. I know DJ's Discord was going off. The official Discord was, of course, in shambles. And, you would spend 4 or 5 epics in that, depending on where you were, that could have put you in a top 10 position at the time, and it was not registering correctly. for destroying these armadas. Now, that has since been fixed, and at the time of this video, I don't think it's come out yet. If it will, while I'm doing the editing process, I'll throw it in. But a compensation chest is being sent out to the servers. All of this happening in one day is like a comedy of errors, which I know for many of you will seem like a theme for this wonderful game that we play, but at the same time, I do have to give them credit for the response time in it. And what I mean by that is, we've had before, and if you're a newer player to the game, you probably won't remember this, and you're just expecting better, which is fine. In fact, I got into, you can see him up there. We're going to give a shout out to KDragon79. We had this conversation in the Discord and, well, I'm sorry, in the game chat, of how, you know, we don't need to, as players, to get complacent with problems in the game. So what has happened recently, and what happened today, is they address these problems very quickly. You know, the Armada issue with Rift number 3 was corrected in a few hours, and this issue is getting corrected very quickly from the time that that script actually ran. In fact, all the players have been fixed, and there's still just got a couple of alliances and things to work out. So for the most part, it's been rectified. And yes, before you say anything, that's how it should be. But in terms of how it has been in the past, the quickness to how some of these things are being addressed and worked on is an improvement. You know, and then, wait, look at these empty spaces. There's an empty space right here. This is not supposed to be empty. Oh, yeah. Oh, look, we're running a territory capture. Now, you better not be stealing territory from people who lost their stuff there, Finks. Who is it? It can't be Finks. They've already got them. I don't know who's running in Triss right now. But anyway, you know, it's good that they're addressing these things relatively quickly and trying to fix some of the problems that happened. I think that's great that the response time has improved. You know, the fact that this morning, it was actually one of the community managers who was telling me about it, because I logged in and was still having like my bottle of water and trying to wake up and hydrate myself and be rejuvenated from last night's Twitch shenanigans, where we did a lot of Wesley Crusher testing. Video upcoming. Works very different than you would think. Maybe not awful. So doing all this, you know, you find out this is happening, and then they're also working on it. Got to talk to the dev team and how they were planning to address the situation in terms of compensating players, and that is a great step in a right direction, which is why I'm coming into this video with a little bit of levity and a little bit of fun, a little bit of joviality. Don't know what that was at all, but in general, that's good. Now, at the same time, please continue to flame certain things, because as K-Dragon was pointing out, and him and I were having this discussion, you don't need to become complacent about some problems and then take their feet off the fire. Some things that have persisted for some time need to be addressed. So point them out, be very specific with it, and we don't want it to ever be how we felt in like 2019, that they did not address problems in an expeditious manner and that they only cared about pushing out new content. So even though that there's new content being pushed out, we want to make sure that fixes are happening. So I want to reiterate down below in the comment section, leave your comments about things that you think need to be worked on or fixed if you have a specific problem. Remember, specifics are very important. There are several things that are always ongoing, and as always, I'm happy to try to be that medium or that conduit who can talk to them if you feel like something needs to be escalated. And it's not just me. DJ definitely can do that with you. The moderators on the official Discord can do that with you. Anything that we can try to help you make your gaming experience better, we love to do. I'm here for the community just like the other content creators are, and we love to talk to the team and be like, yo, here's what we need. List of demands. Read them and weep. We need answers by tomorrow. You know, and it's funny. We've gotten to a point where y'all have been heard so much. Y'all know how y'all bug me about a certain token that's not in the game yet? Well, it's gotten to the point where even the devs are making fun of me about it. Got told today that, hey, would you like to have an update on photon tokens when I have them? And then told, there's not one yet, but would you like to know one day? Y'all think y'all are just so funny. Ha, ha, ha. And that's why I make videos about you guys. That's why. So anything that the game can do to improve, we want to know about. Remember, also in my Discord now, there is a channel for this, for event-specific feedback. So if you've got a feedback about the events, the battle pass rewards, any of that, please come by. There's a little format that you can fill out. Also think about including your level and server so we can have even more context. And that is something that the dev team will have access to directly to see through your feedback, as well as the stuff that I come to them with, that DJ comes to them with, that no one comes with, that Fortis, that Ripper, that Lacars, which would be Fartasia and the entire group of people working over there. No matter what, tons of people here to help you out and hopefully entertain you in a little bit. Un peu, poquito, just different ways to say little. shout out to everybody else because we love y'all. If you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed learning about the comedy of errors that is Star Trek Fleet Command, smash that like button. Looks like this. Hit the join button if you want to support the channel, or check out that PayPal Venmo because we're trying to raise for the house fund. Gotta raise for the house fund. It looks like this. Boop, boop. Shout out to everybody who's donated so far so that we can give my kids something I never had, which is electricity, a roof that doesn't leak, and no roaches. It'd be great. No roaches. Woohoo! I get excited about no roaches. Yeah! See y'all in the next video, which is coming soon.
I would like to request to Scopely to add more Klingons to the game. That is what I was told to do, and so I am doing it. Which, you know, is not maybe the best thing as a leader to just do what you're told, but it seems like a good request to make to add more Klingons. Everything is better with Klingons, am I right? I am right, because I'm a Klingon. Klingon mach tach judge. We are Klingons, let it remain. All right, Laurel's on a roll today. She's very excited.
An even better outro than the intro. Yeah!
Woo!